Hello and welcome to the Patriot Press, where we keep you informed on the monthly happenings of Lee Community Schools. I'm your host, Isaiah Miller. Plenty of things going on this year in Lee Community, and we're going to turn you over to Justine and Daniel for the classroom news.
The kindergarten class has been very busy since school started. In reading, they are learning about letters and sounds, sight words, blending sounds into new words, rhyming, and in Shirley, they are learning about season. In science, they are learning about living things. The first graders took a recent field trip to Mrs. Hathaway's house where they talked about apples and were able to pick apples out and eat them. The first graders are also involved in a school program called LEAP. This is an after-school program for first and second graders that is held once a month. This month they were studying about owls, and they were able to dissect owls' pellets, and they found lots of bones and skulls of skeletons in the pellet. Currently, the fourth graders are learning about the region. They backpacked through the region to other classrooms and had to explain what region they came from and what state they visited. They also bought 4 items that represented the state. Class, the seventh graders have been learning the geography, history, and culture of Europe. Currently, they are planning a vacation to a European country. The eighth graders have been learning the age of exploration and the colonies. They took part in a Fantasy Explored League, which was won by Holly Kerr and Mackenzie William. The freshman class have been studying ancient civilization and founding of early religions. They have currently learned about ancient Mesopotamia, Egypt, Greece, and Rome. Currently, they are creating a case study on an ancient war. The civics class has been studying the founding of American government, currently learning the amendments to the Constitution. The juniors have currently studied the immigration and urbanization of late 1800s. They completed a project previewing the upcoming Big Three elections in Nebraska this coming November. Pete Ricketts in Mr. Cash's class, they have been very busy. Besides watching over the weight room, he also has a health class where they are learning about behavioral stairway. When they are in class, they are participating in different physical activities like frisbee, golf, and ultimate frisbee. Mr. Cash has also made some new improvements to the weight room, such as new bars, clamps, and wrist straps. He also added some new paintings and framing. Mr. Cash is also in charge of junior high volleyball, junior high boys basketball, and junior high track. He is also in the process of making an online store for customized Patriot shirts. A link will be available soon. In Mrs. Helen's class, the interior design class took field trips around town to look at different types of homes. The culinary art class took 2 cooking labs. The junior high reading class has the most points out of all the reading groups. 8th graders are starting the sewing project. And if you want to see pictures of Mrs. Helen's classroom, please follow the classroom's Instagram at Mrs. Helen's FAC. Mr. Canuck's class, the junior high, is working with fraction. Algebra 1 is solving equations with one variable. Algebra 2 is working on solving system of equations with 2 variables. Geometry is working on triangles. Pre-calculus is working with angles in a circle and problems. The juniors are starting a unit where they are reviewing and using terms of literature. They will also be evaluating Native American literature and values. The seniors are working on the third paper, a compare and contrast paper. The Spanish 2 class is studying Puerto Rico and beginning past tense of verbs. The Spanish 1 class is studying the Hispanic influence in Miami and learning to say things like, I am a student and I like to eat. The yearbook is selling advertisements and working on the theme and the cover. Now back to you, Isaiah.
Very interesting stuff. Now, for what we are all here for, we have Mark and Luis for sports. Luis?
Football's off to a 3-3 start with wins over Wakefield, Omaha Nation, Cedar Bluffs, and a game this Friday versus Cross County. Go Pats! Clarkson-Leigh volleyball off to a rough start. Couple wins, versus Lions Decatur Northeast 2-1. Versus St. Francis 3-2. Clarkson-Leigh versus Twin River 3-1. Softball's to a rough start with a couple wins over Wisner Pilger 4-1. Another versus O'Neill 2-1. And another versus South Sioux City 5-3. Go Highway 91 Cyclone.
Girls golf has had a successful season this year. Carmen Haig placed 15th in the Stanton meet on September 5th. JV football is starting out with a rough start with their record 2-4. They've won against Howes Dodge and East Butler. Go Pats.
Sounds like some interesting things going on in the world of Patriot athletics. But sport's not the only activities here. Now we're going to turn you over to Keisha with the activity update. Keisha?
This year's one-act play is called MASH. Mrs. Fisher says that she's very excited for this year's one-act since we have not had a one-act in a very long time. This year's one-act team has 21 cast members, 13 crew members, and 2 assistant directors. Don't forget to come and watch them as they put on MASH as Lee hosts one-act districts on December 2nd, or the dinner theater on November 23rd at the high school. This year, the Clarkson-Leigh FCCLA chapter got a new advisor. Mrs. Hillen said that there are a lot of perks in joining FCCLA. She says that FCCLA provides numerous opportunities for students to get involved and provides a great way to gain more leadership skills. This year's FCCLA team has 20 members. If you are interested in seeing what FCCLA does, there are plenty of upcoming events that will show you what FCCLA is all about. District Leadership Conference is October 20th. Clusters is in Little Rock, Arkansas on November 14th through the 16th, and STAR is on January 21st in St. Edward. FCCLA is not just about getting out of school to go watch sessions. You get to help your community out by babysitting for parent-teacher conferences or highway cleanup. FCCLA is an organization that can help you in many different ways. This year's Clarkson-Leigh FFA chapter advisor is Mr. Tischer. The FFA chapter just finished Greenhand. They have a handful of kids going to nationals and they are getting ready for DLC. A way students can get more involved in FFA is to try to become an officer and get included in speaking events as well as community service. The more involved you are, the more things you go to, more people you meet, and you have a great experience. Some perks of joining FFA would be meeting new people and making lots of friends, going to nationals and becoming an officer. What FFA does for you is that it teaches you leadership by being an officer, responsibility when you come to meetings, and people skills when you meet new friends and present speeches.
Now, I'll turn you over to Carmen with an update on the school happenings. Carmen?
The 2014-15 school year has arrived, and many changes have come to the school system. This year, the school added the sports of softball and girls golf. Previously, the softball girls played with the Schuyler Warriors, but this year a new team was created, the Highway 91 Cyclones. This team consists of girls from Howells, Dodge, Clarkson, and Lee. Also new this year is the large Patriot logo that goes on the center of the football field. The students in the weight training classes have visual encouragements because of the changes made over the summer by Mr. Cash. Also, the locker rooms got a new coat of paint and an addition of Patriot spirit when Mr. Cash and Laura Baines painted the Patriot logo onto the walls this summer. The high school hallway has been introduced with technology by adding an Apple TV by the office that delivers announcements to the school. The school year's off to a great start, and with all of the new changes, it is sure to be a success. With the school news, I'm Carmen Haig.
Alright, that's all the time we have today, folks. Thanks for joining us here at Patriot Press. Tune in next time for all our great school news. And don't forget to tune into the Patriot Press on YouTube for regular updates and great pieces about Lee Community Schools. I'm Isaiah Miller. Thank you and have a good day.